Hello everyone. Sadly the image or the camera wasn't working because, as I said during the video, there was it doesn't work with GeForce, and that I found out since then why. I have managed to get it working with Twitch Studio though, so if I stream it should work. Also if I stream with Twitch, sorry, with GeForce on Twitch, I'm sure about YouTube, there's a chance that the camera might work. There's a few bits that obviously I'm learning. So yeah, I mentioned the camera a few times during the video, and unfortunately you won't see the actual reactions from me because the camera wasn't recording. So I'll know that for next time. I need to use the inbuilt Windows camera, which apparently for some stupid reason it needs to be on the screen, like I have it now, so I can see myself looking at you, me, like weird. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't work. If I minimize it, it stops recording. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me. So, yeah, enjoy. Okay, hello everyone. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. A few months actually, yeah. A few major things have happened since then. So thought I'd quickly cover them while I also test the camera, which doesn't work as intended because NVIDIA GeForce is not picking it up. It does pick up that there's a camera. There was a first problem. It didn't identify that there was a camera. Now it does know that there's a camera, but it doesn't get the image up from it. So I don't know. I've tried a few things, doesn't work, so I guess that's not gonna work. For this kind of video I can do it this way and then just edit them together. However, if I'm streaming or something, I guess I'll just not use the camera. And if I'm making normal Naruto online videos, I don't need a camera anyway, so whatever. So yeah, hopefully everyone is safe. Another safe summer. Over here, definitely the winter is here. It's been stormy for the past few days. Had a little bit of a break this afternoon, or this morning to this afternoon, and now it's starting again. Should stay with us for the next couple of days. I'm on holiday though, so PlayStation switched on the background. I do plan on getting the Platinum on Grid this month before I go back to work, which will be finally get that out of the way. So yeah, as you can probably see on screen, one of the things that we did miss this year was the well, that I missed on my videos, was the launch of the Xbox Series X and Series S. They should be coming out. Oh god, I should have that ready somewhere. No, I don't. Anyway, towards the end of this year, both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 have had a somewhat bad launch. The pre-orders have been chaos by both. In a lot of cases, not Sony or Microsoft's problems. A lot of the problems were on individual sites, but still the way that they handled it was a complete mess. And I know I know Sony has apologized for it. I think Microsoft may have apologized for it as well. Not too sure on that one. The price for both next-gen consoles will be $499 or whatever. So here, Xbox Series X at $449 standalone, but that's from the actual site. I don't know what the on the retail is. Will be. Is it the same? Next Series X plus. Yeah, $499. Okay, maybe that's why. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we're back. Forgot my beer, so now we're ready. So yes, PS5 and Xbox Series X come at 450 quid. The difference really, I mean, I know there'll be minor hardware differences, don't care about those. The looks a little bit, there's a bit of a difference. A bigger difference if you actually think at previous generations. I think there's quite a big difference, especially to the last gen. They weren't really all that different. But yeah, here you've got like a cube sort of thing type thingy, and there you've got, I don't know, glorified modem router. Anyway, and the big difference comes on the second one, the digital version of which both consoles have. the Xbox Series X, which for some reason it's not on this page, which is actually called Xbox Series S, just to make it even more confusing, especially with the last gen, well, current gen, should we say. And it's a bit cheap, it's about 250 quid, I think. While the PS5 also launching at 450 quid. The other one launches by a bit less, but it's the same performance. That's the big difference. We know what Xbox is going for with the S. It's trying to get people to use the Game Pass, and to be honest with you, it's not a bad. It's not going to be a bad console at all for some people. Like if I had a PlayStation 4, for example, and I always, I hadn't played Xbox games for years, and I wanted to go on to the next gen, or I wanted to try maybe an Xbox One, with Christmas approaching and something like that, I'd be like, okay, for 250 I can get the S. I can play next gen games, just not at the same fidelity, and you'd have like a PlayStation 4, and you'll have a previous generation PlayStation and a next gen Xbox. And that will I could understand that, especially if you've got again this internet and that. I'm not a fan of digital only consoles, but we're adding towards that. It's just a matter of time. So, but I really don't like it personally. The PlayStation 1 though, you do get the same performance. The only difference is not having obviously the disk drive, but the you can see that 300 quid for the it was a PS3, whatever the other one is. I think it must be 350, because I think they said it was £100 less. Whatever the hell it was. And the controllers, oh my god, that is not cheap. PS4 launched at 350. The PS3 was 425. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, that's 350, but you get the same performance. So that's obviously the better console. What Microsoft is pushing for, like I slightly touched on earlier, is the digital system, their Game Pass system. I mean, which is not bad. Is the best in the business. Yeah, there's no matching for that around, for that kind of money. For me, I'd have no use because I can't complete the game in a month, couple of months maybe. But if you always want new games, I think it's £15 or $15 a month, and it's Netflix of games. It's probably better than Netflix because Netflix has gone to crap now. I don't know, however you want to look at it, but it's the best thing on the market, and that's what they're pushing for more subscriptions under the Game Pass, which fair play, and I hope it works. There is definitely a market for it. I don't know if it's going to be as successful as they hope it is. Hopefully for them it is. And also surprisingly, the Xbox Series X is doing quite well in Japan, which is really weird. I think a lot of people are getting tired of Sony, including some developers. They're becoming too censorious and just, I don't know where they're heading, but they've got a huge base. PlayStation, the last current generation, let's say, they dominated. Maybe they're getting too comfortable, or maybe Xbox just needs to take some other risks and not be as censorious in like some games. There's this game that's coming on Xbox only. It's a Japanese company, and they're not launching it with Sony. It's not coming out on a PlayStation at all, and that's really, really bizarre when you think of it. And plus the fact that Xbox is selling really well in Japan. So yeah, there's some weird things going on. Obviously, it will take years for us to actually see what's happening with that. But that's pretty much the news on the consoles. Crappy launches. I did stream a couple of the events on my Discord, which you watched with a couple of people. There's some good games coming on. One of the games that was meant to come out at launch with the Xbox Series X was the new Halo one, Halo Infinite, and did not look great. Did not. I saw it on a showcase or whatever they called it, and it did not. I mean, like gameplay and that looked good, but for the next gen, the graphics didn't look amazing. They looked okay, don't get me wrong, but they didn't look like next gen. So yeah, there were a few other things there that the people immediately raised on the internet and all that, and Microsoft is then 343 Studios, 343. They decided to push that back, so that's not going to be coming out at launch, but that's a good thing, really. Do a better product, then release it. We don't see that often these days. Talking about good games coming out these days, the biggest one obviously Cyberpunk 2077. We're just over a month away for the game to for the game's released. Should be great. It's a shame that the developer had to go back on their word, and they do have to crunch these final weeks, so extra hours for the staff and all that, which is not great after they said last year that they were going to try and look after the staff better and all that. Personally, I don't really care. I mean, yes, it's mandatory, so the staff apparently don't have an option. They already had crunch coming on, but the staff will choose whether they could do it or not. But maybe they were hoping that by offering voluntary crunch hours or overtime, that more people would say yes, and they could actually finish the product in time. I don't know, just speculating. And maybe because they couldn't get that, now on the past, on the final 6 weeks or something like that, 6-7 weeks, it's mandatory, so everybody has to do it. It's not great, but again, one of the things that a lot of people are not mentioning on is what we had. Well, at least two of the big YouTubers that cover these news, none of them mention it. Is we did have lockdown early this year. A lot of the supply chain was disrupted. A lot of people couldn't work. Process was changed from working in the office to work from home. All that makes you lose time. So I'm not surprised that, yeah, they're a little bit behind after already delaying the launch a couple of times. They don't want to delay it again, and I can see why, because that's the window market for them. They can't really delay it much further. Maybe a couple of weeks they could, maybe. But you don't want to be releasing the game in December. A lot of people will have Christmas presents already bought and that kind of thing. You know, you need to launch it in November, so they don't have much leeway to delay it yet again. Plus, it will be bad publicity to delay it a third time. So I get where they're coming from. It's sad, but hey, it happens. So it is what it is. So yes, apart from that, which is probably the best game of the year and definitely the most hyped. What was the last super hyped game? Oh, The Last of Us. We know how that one turned out. Anyway, so back to games at launch. As I said, the Xbox is no longer gonna have Halo. It's a little bit of a blow, bit of a marketing issue as well, because if you want to sell Xboxes, have a Forza title there, Halo title, Gears title. That's kind of what you try to do, because it's part of your brand and people will get it. It's a little bit of a blow, but hopefully they'll still do okay. They will have Gears 5 kind of remastered, whatever, released for the X. And then all the games, I can't remember which ones of these are exclusives, but either way, if you're planning on getting a Microsoft, an Xbox Series X or S for whatever reason, you should have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Bright Memory, Dirt 5, and Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Again, that's a remastered whatever thingy. FIFA 21, Fortnite, Gear Tactics, Marvel's Avengers, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, Samurai Spirits, Tetris Effect Connected, and the Falcona, Watch Dogs Legion, Yakuza Like a Dragon. To be honest with you, not amazing. Halo on that, yeah, that would be pretty good. But otherwise, I mean, Gear Tactics looked kind of cool. I did see that on the event that they had. Much of them are just reskins released. Really not impressed for any of those. Marvel's Avengers, I think they did have some issues, if that's the game I'm thinking about. We'll see. It's not a great start. When you compare it to PlayStation 5, it's a problem with the time exclusives like the Black Ops, and those ones are a bit of an issue. So you still got Assassin's Creed, Valhalla coming out as well, Astro's Playroom, which looks kind of fun. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Demon's Souls. I'm not a fan of Souls games, but that looks amazing. I wouldn't play it because I get my ass kicked, and I hate repeating levels and levels and just to die again. You like it, fair play. Amazing games, not my type. Destruction All Stars, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition again, just a reskin, Fortnite reskin. Godfall, Just Dance 2021, party game, hey. Man Eater, I can't remember it. I can't remember it. I did see the revealed trailer and whatever for that. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales and Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. Are they together? Or is it a remaster that brings an older one? I'm confused. But yeah, Miles Morales looks... I don't know, there was a lot of quick time events. That's fine, but show a bit more actual gameplay, because if you're just jumping around and then going to a timed event every now and then, those... I don't know. I didn't get... Yes, looked colorful, great. Yeah, showed the next gen hardware and all that. Amazing. But I'm not there for the looks. If I was playing for the looks, I would have been playing PlayStation 3. Put it that way. So I'm playing for the quality of the game, not for the looks. Looks great, yeah, but not sure about the game. But hopefully will be good. We just need to see more of it. NBA 2K21, screw all this, to be honest. Observer, System Redux, Sackboy, Big Adventure. Sackboy is the little Sackboy from what? From Little Big Planet. So they kind of renamed it, but it's effectively Little Big Planet. And yeah, it looks cool. I always liked him. It's a cool, fun game to play on the side. I mean, if you're not take it seriously, you can. I just played it for fun. But if you want to do the achievements and well, trophies and the in-game achievements, it's a lot to do. But it's just overall a fun game. The Pathless, I watched it, can't remember, and Watch Dogs Legion as well. So obviously, some crossovers there in terms of some titles, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the very first one, and then the very last one, Watch Dogs, somewhere in between. Nothing amazing, and this is why I say, I mean, yes, if you've got the money to blow it and you're that excited for next gen, okay, buy it. But to be honest with you, for the next year or so, you're not gonna miss anything. The new games aren't gonna blow you away, because no one is gonna be utilizing the hardware to the max or even close to it, even remotely close to it. If you look at every generation, you see the most amazing games always come towards the end of the generation, because technology has evolved, as well as the developers are more used to what the consoles can do. So you're not going to get that anytime soon. In fact, in my opinion, I still think that the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I don't think they've been pushed to the max like we saw with the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and the same with the Xboxes. We never got there. That's my opinion. I'm not the only one thinking that, but let's just say it's my opinion. So that's that for the games. God, this is going to be a long one again. What else did we miss? I just saw this today. My news from yesterday, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot of details from each console. If you want to go over, it's all available on the internet. I don't need to make a video about it. I mean, I could. A lot of people do. It's not my thing. But this looks cool. I haven't read the article yet. But you can, you'll be able to uninstall parts of the game in order to make space. So you don't have to uninstall the whole game. It's like, okay, I might get back to that game in a month or two, or a couple of months, wait for the next season or the next update or whatever. And it's like, okay, in the meantime, I'll play a different game, and you don't quite have space. I think that's kind of cool that you can uninstall not the entirety of the game, just part of it, and then reinstall it later when you get back to it. So just have enough space for you to play a game. Because again, space is going to be a huge issue. It was an issue on a previous generation, or on the current generation. I keep saying previous as if we're already on next gen. And that's even more worse for me, because I'm playing PlayStation 3. But anyway, moving on. I'll just confuse everybody. Who the hell gives a shit? So yes, it's cool that you can do that, because the memory is definitely going to be a problem. The games were already massive on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And I know, because I do have an Xbox One there. God, some of the games ridiculous. So the next one with, improved graphics and all that, okay, they're going to come with a bigger drive. Yes, but how many games will you be able to install? You'll be on the same boat as you were before, if not worse. So we'll see. Hopefully they can maximize or optimize games better, because I'm pretty sure some of them, obviously I didn't have a PlayStation 4, but on the Xbox One some of the games were just not optimized enough. You could have, because on some of them, I can't remember which game it was, that I came across the download size on the PC and on the Xbox, and the PC one was smaller, or was an update, content update or whatever. And I was like, how does that make sense? It's the same game, and you can have higher freaking everything on a PC. I was confused by that. So yeah, games for consoles, as I was saying before, just not optimized. We did not get to that level on this generation. Too early for the next one. Obviously companies want to make money, which is fine, you know, whatever. But us as consumers, you know, just think for yourself, do you really need it now? Or 6 months down the road it might be cheaper, or you might have the deal, you know, it's still a console with another game for the same price, but it's a game that you actually really want to play. I don't know. You decide that. Every single one of us will decide by ourselves. If I was to get a new console, it wouldn't be either of those. It will be a Switch. But I don't have time. I think about it all the time, but I don't have time, so there's no point buying another console. I don't have time to play games. Well, I do have time to play games, just not enough games. I think that's it for that. The other thing that we missed, and this could be huge for the industry and could be huge for the console wars as well, which is Microsoft, out of nowhere, as far as most of us were concerned. Insiders probably knew, but it's like there was no gossip, there was nothing going on, and then just blew away, or blew into the media, that Microsoft decided to buy Bethesda, or ZeniMax, you know, the Bethesda owners, which is crazy. $7.5 billion, nearly 6 billion quid. That's a lot of money. So Microsoft are going for it. I mean, you can't tell the world more than that. Spending that much money, you know, you're telling the community, like, okay, we really want to invest in games. We want established developers, and yeah, that's the weird part. Bethesda is also a publisher. Yeah, they really want to go for it. But what does this mean to the other platforms? That's why we don't really know. If they're getting enough money from Microsoft, do Bethesda really care about launching on other platforms? I know for the next couple of years, 3 years, whatever, we're not going to see any difference. But it's beyond that I'm a bit worried and very skeptical. Are they going to make their own exclusives? They will definitely make time exclusives, for sure. I don't know how long it's going to take it before you see us. Maybe like before you see it, maybe like I said, 3 years or whatever. But I think we'll see it. I think it's. I'm fairly sure we're going to see it. So what's the point of Microsoft owning those studios if they're not going to take advantage of it to try and pull customers in? Makes no sense. So I think Sony is going to lose a bit on that, and this may be just the beginning of a long rise of the Xbox against the PlayStation. Because Sony is screwing. They've been pissing off people all over for the past couple of years, mostly because of censorship, and that's, you know, I don't want to really go too much off gaming, but if you follow some of what goes on the mainstream media, especially with regards to censorship and all that, it's something that there's a lot of voices that get annoyed, and that applies in gaming as well a lot. And like I said, is this Japanese developer that they're launching the game on the Xbox and not on the PlayStation. So whatever Sony's, I've been unhappy with Sony for a good couple of years now. I still like their products. I mean, their consoles mostly. They make good cameras as well. They've got nothing else though. And they really got to be careful who they piss off, because yeah, in this business you've got the monopoly now. Give it 5 years, or even less, to be a generation of consoles or something like that, and all of a sudden, you know, you're in a back foot and losing millions and billions even. So anyway, this will be interesting. Hopefully this will also mean for us that we get better games from Bethesda, because they haven't been doing well lately. Now let's be honest, they haven't been doing great. I think this now also makes a possibility. I think it's still far-fetched, but Fallout New Vegas 2, which everyone has been talking about, if you were aware of this, which most probably you were, who follows games and it isn't, that may be a possibility down the road, which will be great. I forgot what their studios were called. God damn. They're working on Avowed, which is coming on Xbox. That's going to be amazing. Sadly, that's not launch thingy. That's going to be somewhere down here. Oh no, it's actually probably going to be later than that. But Avad looks good. Looks like their take on Skyrim again. So they did Fallout New Vegas, which was their take Obsidian. There we go. Which was their take on Fallout world, and a lot of people, most gamers love that game. Perhaps, no, not perhaps. A lot of people do think, a lot of players do think that was the best Fallout ever. So take it for whatever. I didn't really play them, so I can't comment. But that was a very loved game by the community, and now because they're under the Microsoft umbrella again, because Microsoft bought Obsidian a while back, now it actually makes it possible that we'll see Fallout New Vegas 2. But it's only making it possible, doesn't mean it's going to happen. But if it is to happen, over the next few years will be the time, because they're actually under the same company. So look forward to that. And I think that's it for today. Not going to talk about Naruto or Bleach Online or whatever I'm playing at the moment. Going to try and edit this, get it out. Probably have dinner by then and go on PS3 for a bit. So yeah, thanks you all for tuning for another game stuff video. Now it's been a while. Absolutely no idea when the next one is going to be. Enjoy gaming. If you're getting the next gen console, I'm sure there'll be more talks about it and more news coming out and things like that. So yeah, peace. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.